Hey, everybody. Welcome to Catholic Mom. Danielle Bean here. I'm excited to share with you a special Facebook Live this week. Joining me here today are Kathy Gilmore. Hi, Kathy.
Hey there, Danielle.
And Jeannie Egolf. Welcome, Jeannie, to Catholic Mom Facebook Live. Thrilled that you both can
Awesome.
join me.
Thank you very much. It's such a privilege to be here. I'm really happy.
Yeah, so today we're going to talk about a special project that you both have worked on together. I'm going to start with you, Kathy, because you are creator of this project, which is Tiny Virtue Heroes. Get us started, Kathy. Tell us what exactly this project is all about.
The Tiny Virtue Heroes is a what I call a menagerie of animal and insect characters that are each icons of a virtue.
Hmm.
And they are these wonderful little storytellers. So there's a storybook ultimately that will go with each of these characters, but they are storytellers of a special moment in what we call spiritual history that points children to admire a virtue hero from actual history. And so they're like each child's little sidekick.
So, how many of these creatures have you created?
Well, there are 35, and thankfully, what I put together in my head, Jeannie is the talented artist, and she brings them to life in living color.
So I'm hoping one of you can show us, right? Jeannie, you're there. It looks like you might be in your studio there. Do you have any of the creatures that you can show us that you
I
created?
do. I didn't know if you were going to be able to bring up like a screenshot, but like I think you can
If you
kind of
could
Look
hold it
see.
up, I
behind
think
you.
would
Yeah,
be good.
I
Show
Yeah,
can
us
do
what you've
that.
got.
I'm
and
gonna
see.
lose my.
I got low tech here. I
That's
got the
it.
low
Yeah, I
tech.
mean
Okay, well, at least show us the cover of that book, right? Because
Yes. So the first storybook is A Mouse and a Miracle with
okay,
Moshe the mouse.
Moshe the mouse. This is
Yes.
okay. And so you created this character, Kathy, but then Jeannie, you brought this little Moshe the mouse and all of those other friends, so cute, to
That's
life inside
yes.
of these stories.
Yes. Absolutely.
So
It's
each character has its own virtue that's attached
Mhm.
to it. And you said they're part of, you said spiritual history. What do you mean by
correct.
that? Are they part of Jesus's story, the story of the Gospels, or what?
Well, the way
Mhm.
these are lining up and the way that they line up in this for children, children who are now this book has just launched this summer, and for children who encounter it, what I'm hearing from parents and grandparents is that page at the back is the child's favorite page
Uh-huh.
because they can't wait to get to know all the rest of the characters. Well, the first 20 of these characters are lined up to match up with the mysteries of the rosary. So
Okay.
when we call it spiritual history,
Mhm.
first we go through the life of Jesus as it's portrayed in the mysteries of the rosary. Then we
Mhm.
go on beyond that because there's a total of 35 of these characters, and
Okay.
have a group that are the fish tails. These are all the different fish and snails and
Mhm.
different characters that were on the water with
Hmm.
Jesus when he was with the apostles. And then we
Very
go
cute.
into some saints. And so that's where the spiritual history element of it continues. And
Okay.
it's just really fun.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. And as a mom myself, I know how kids love a collection of animals like that. Now, Jeannie, you're a mom yourself. Does having kids yourself inspire you inside of this kind of work?
Oh, of course. Yeah. Is there anything more inspiring than being a mom? I mean, really?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And my kids love art too. They love to draw and they're great art critics. I can tell you.
Oh.
If something doesn't look like if it isn't going to be something, that Kathy picks up to fix, those kids are going to get it, right? They're going to be,
Okay, so as you're
"Mom,
going through, were you sharing these creatures with
oh
your daughters?
yeah, Mom, that rabbit looks scary," or something, whatever. Yeah, so I get to test it not only on my kids, but like all their friends too, all their friends at church, all the big families with little kids. I'm trying, does this look okay? Or, is it scary? Or is it too
Right.
goofy or what? So Kathy and I always have a nice little, test audiences and
Right.
from our parishes or just from our families. So yeah. Mhm.
Right. So these are
Having kids
tested
helps.
on real kids, real families that have given you feedback on
Mhm.
these. So there's only one of the storybooks that's currently available, right? But all of the creatures are there
Yes.
at the back of the book.
And it's if anybody goes to virtueheroes.com, they can meet all these little heroes. And I had a great conversation with a mom with a son. Okay, it's a boy who is 10 years old, which is at the top age range of for us for interest.
Right.
We think it's going to be a delight for kids anywhere 3 to 9 ish. Well, this is
Mhm.
a 10-year-old boy, and he loved going onto the website and seeing all the characters. And then, because a lot of times I put little like photographic images of the actual animals with captions. Well, he loved looking at that. He loved clicking on links. So this resource online is there, so you can meet all the little friends now. You don't have to wait for the stories to come out.
Okay. And that is at virtueheroes.com.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, great. Oh, so people can go there and check out the collections and kind of
Yes.
anticipate what these future stories are going to be. So,
Right.
you have one of these books that you're working on illustrating right now, Jeannie?
I am. We're actually, Kathy, can I tell, we made a decision to kind of go out of sequence a little bit.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So, because of the timing of this, we're going to go ahead and skip to the third book, Wisdom Finds a Way.
Okay. Tell us about that.
Oh gosh, we're so excited. I am doing a storyboard right now for Kathy. We're going over the details. Generally, I illustrate a book in 3 rounds. We're going to do a rough storyboard first, then we're going to go through with more detailed pencil sketches, and then after that, we start the painting. Oops, I'm losing sound again. But anyway, so Kathy and I are through the first step in the process, and we're
Okay.
moving on to the second. I don't have anything in front to show you, but I want that Kathy's just brilliant. She wrote all these stories, and the idea behind this, you got to let her tell you about it.
Okay.
Well,
All right. So
it's
share with us
just
about that, Kathy.
stunning.
And what's so cool is Jeannie already, when she does this, when she has the opportunity to do this, I get so excited. She has the ability on her software that she creates the art to create a video of the creation of the art, the piece of artwork.
Oh,
So
wow.
anybody who goes today or now, whatever, when they watch on Virtue Heroes to the Amel the Camel little page,
Okay.
I put a video of the creation of Amel the Camel and his king riding on him,
Oh my
Baltazar.
goodness. Okay.
And I couldn't be more excited about this particular project this particular year. We are celebrating the wisdom of the 3 wise kings, and Amel the Camel tells their story. And they go on their journey to find baby Jesus and give their gifts.
Mhm.
But there's so much more to the gifts, that each king is an icon of what makes us wise. The one king is the icon, and his gift is gold. Well, he's the icon of heartfelt love. Then the second king is his gift is the frankincense, and so he symbolizes sincere prayer. And then the final king, who is Baltazar, he's like the leader of the group. He is the dark skinned, looks like he's an African king, and he is he's the one that brings the myrrh, and he is all about, he's willing to die for this baby. He's willing to
Mm.
sacrifice. So love, prayer, and sacrifice is what makes us wise. And I couldn't be more excited to bring this book out at this time, because we are celebrating a king of color. We are being the positive side to all the things that are so difficult right now.
Mhm.
And I think that this is going to be really inspiring for a whole lot of families, from every walk of life.
Wow, that's beautiful. So you made that decision because of the times that we're living in to
Yep.
focus on this book next.
Yep. Yep.
And I love to hear the back and forth between the two of you as you're talking about this process, because I could just tell that you kind of feed off of each other's creative energy. And how long have you two known each other and had this working relationship?
Oh my gosh. I mean, we've known each other ever since we started working on an article. Because I have a nonprofit called Virtue Works Media, trying to promote virtuous reading and any kind of entertainment.
Mhm.
And then Jeannie and I worked on an article today. This was what, 2 years ago or
Oh, it
something
may
like that? Maybe
four,
three.
3, 4. I
Okay.
don't
But it
know.
was about how Scholastic is very problematic for Catholic families and
Hmm.
schools. And so
Mhm.
we were pointing out the problems with Scholastic. And we just basically were just kindred hearts wanting to up the bar for families who want good quality literature that doesn't just have empty entertainment, but that actually edifies and builds the heart. And so then we found each
That's
other and
amazing. Oh, I love that. And that's exactly what you're doing here. So, Jeannie, this
right.
is just one project that you're working on. Are all of your projects faith-based, or how does that work between your
They
work and your
are.
faith life?
They are. But by far, I mean, it's just Kathy. Everybody knows Kathy Gilmore, right? She just does everything. Um, for me
I don't
to
know.
get the chance to work with this woman is just the chance of a lifetime. It
It's
really
so
is, because these
beautiful.
projects of hers are amazing. Yeah. And thanks to her friendship and encouragement, and another friend who writes for Catholic Mom, we started our own little publishing company. We started our Perpetual Light Publishing, and we're focusing on children's books
Oh,
all
that's
the way through
beautiful.
adolescence. So it's hard work for all of us, right? We're all in this
Mhm.
together, but we've got a big team, including some great Catholic writers in England, because virtually you can work together with people all over the world, right? That's what we're doing
Exactly.
right now.
Mhm.
We're collaborating with people everywhere. And
Mhm.
so, yeah, I am. I'm working on another fun little book called Wendy's Wacky Wardrobe. It's one
Cute.
of parishioners here in Central Ohio at Our Lady of Perpetual Help. So cute. It's about a little girl with a kind of a shopping addiction and a hoarder. So
Okay.
it's based on the virtue of temperance, right?
Oh,
But you
very
But
won't
it's
nice.
know
so
that because
cute.
it's just an entertaining story, but it's a
Right.
life
Mhm.
lesson.
I like that.
I did the Molly McBride series. I write those Molly McBride books that have been out for a few years, and those are from Our Sunday Visitor.
Hmm.
And we have a great book called God Made the Moonlight by Erin Brostol. Power back to Erin. She gives us props all the time. She does a lot of talk radio spots and stuff. It's a beautiful book. So if you want to check out perpetuallightpublishing.com, there's a lot of
Mhm.
information about our other books. And then, of course, everything links back to Kathy's site too. So,
Right.
Right.
and
Right.
we have different events going on there. So, does that answer your
Mhm.
question,
Yes, it does.
Danielle?
And
Mhm.
There's so
I
much
love
to tell
everything that
you.
you are involved in. And I like how you mentioned that, in today's world, we can virtually work with people
Mm-hmm.
all over. And it sounds like that's something that you are really capitalizing on. Kathy,
Mm-hmm.
I think
Mhm.
you shared with me that this whole little project was sort of an inspiration that came out of quarantine this springtime. Tell us a little bit about how that came to be.
Right. Well, for the last several years, I've been trying to establish VirtueWorks Media, which will ultimately be this really cool information aggregator search engine site that rates all kinds of media based on virtues. It's a
Hmm.
really cool thing, but it's really complicated and takes a lot of money. And so when COVID happened, I'm like, Lord, what do you want me to do? It was obvious God was putting the brakes on VirtueWorks Media temporarily, and it was interesting because it was like he was telling my heart, Kathy, your little heroes, which have always been in my mind, always been the plan. He's like, the little heroes are going to be your virtue ambassadors. You've got
Mm-hmm.
to get those going. You've got to get those need to be born. And
Right?
so, you know how they talk about blackout babies?
Right.
Well,
These are your
basically,
babies.
these are these are the COVID babies.
Cute.
And it's so cool. And I guess what I like about the way these are coming together, you can tell sometimes it's your own inspiration, but you can then afterwards look back, see providence. It was important for me to make these characters very authentic so that they didn't look sort of what I call sticky sweet,
Hmm.
because I wanted kids to be able to relate to them. So we have Petros, he's a snapping turtle, and he is the virtue icon of adaptability because
That's
he has a
nice.
conversion experience with Jesus and John the Baptist in the
Oh,
waters of the Jordan when Jesus is baptized. But there's
where's the
so
turtle?
many of those kinds of moments, and I think that's why these characters are going to captivate, because they're not just an icon. They
Hmm.
are, they're going to be this symbol, but it's a symbol with a story that has depth.
Right.
And that, I think, is why this is going to I think that's why it's going to make a difference. At least I sure hope so. Yeah.
Absolutely. I am so inspired by this work that you've put out. I'm so thrilled to know that it came a good thing that came out of quarantine. And, I just find it encouraging because everything we do at Catholic Mom is about women coming together to work with and support and encourage and affirm each other inside of their vocation of motherhood. And it just
Mhm.
sounds to me like the two of you have been working to encourage and affirm each other inside of your own vocations, inside of the creation of this project and in your work in your art, Jeannie. Maybe
Mhm.
Jeannie, you could just before we have to go, share with us just a little bit about what your vision is for the future of this project and the future of the work that you're planning to do with Kathy.
The future, oh, there's going to be first of all, the future is quite long, right?
We basically adopted each other.
You guys gave yourself a big assignment with all these creatures.
I'm booked for the next 17 years. So, right, Kathy, right? Um, oh, it's just, I always have something fun to do. I just love this job so much. And I look forward to getting up in the morning to do this. Who doesn't want to draw? Who doesn't want to draw
Right.
pictures, right? And the
Well,
future,
and look,
this
when
book,
she creates a character as adorable
there's
as
just so many,
this,
there's so many fun
this
characters coming. I mean,
is
just the
just so
character.
fun.
So we did, a character design for 35 little creatures, right?
Right,
Now, each one of these books is we get to pose these little
Mhm.
creatures doing all kinds of fun things.
right,
Right.
Besides that, we have to be consistent because we're going to see recurring characters, right? We're going to see
Right.
Mary and Joseph several
hmm
times, right?
Well,
So
and
that's
there's
challenging. There's always some
Easter eggs.
challenge to it.
Hmm. Yeah.
I don't think I can hear you guys. I lost my sound.
Oh, okay. Well,
Can you hear me? If you can hear
yeah,
me,
we
okay, that's
hear
fine.
you.
But I
Mhm.
can't hear you guys.
Okay, well then, just to wrap up here, Kathy, maybe you can speak a little bit about your plans, what you hope that this series of books will do for children and their families.
Well, truly, I hope that it helps children to want to be heroically virtuous.
Hmm.
That is what makes a saint a saint. It's not miracles. It's not, that they were nice people. It's heroic virtue. And so the whole point is to brand, if that is a term we can use, brand heroic virtue in a way that makes children think that it's delightful, desirable, and fun. And we're hiding so much Catholic theology in the midst of this. Like, if you notice, see how Moshe has the little cape on? He's got a little blue cape.
Right.
Well, that is Mary's mantle. That
Oh,
is
that's
that
sweet.
is that is what creates his cape. So we're hiding all kinds of symbolism in it in that way.
Right.
And I pray that it's just such a blessing to families, and particularly encouraging also to grandparents,
Yes.
because there's so many grandparents that are so discouraged right now, and because they're watching the culture just kind of fragment.
Hmm.
And so we pray that this will be a comfort and a great tool for grandma and grandpa to say,
Oh, I
read a
just
book
know
with
that
me.
it is. I do. And I love watching these characters come to life inside of the work that you are doing. So I want to thank you, Kathy, and thank you, Jeannie, for pouring yourselves into this work for the benefit of children and their families, for increasing virtue in the world today. I know there's lots of good things to come. So everybody, go to virtueheroes.com. Check out all the characters there, introduce your kids to them, and you've got a lot to look forward to in the coming months and years as these two dynamic women are working together. Thank you so much,
Right.
Kathy Gilmore and Jeannie
you.
Egolf, for joining me here on Catholic Mom Live today. God bless you guys.
Thank you.
All right, take care,
Okay.
everybody. We'll be back
Bye.
later this week with more live. God bless you.
Okay.